Okay.
E36 Unfiltered, aka the Unfiltered Room with Mr. E Gray. Introducing all the latest names and the latest news. Hottest take, he the new face, yeah, the new sound. But keep it old school and raw interviews from local athletes, even digging off and entertainment too. Own style, he got his own lane, it's unfiltered dog, but keep it raw, man. New content to keep the people ready. E36, no Jerome Betty, it's real dialogue and real conversations. You keep it real, but we real. Mr. E Gray in the building. E36 Unfiltered.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's your boy E Gray from the E36 Unfiltered Live podcast. I'll be bringing one of my other co-hosts in here today, or rather tonight, is a special show for me. Probably one of the most personable shows I've ever done, and probably will ever do. And I hope that I don't never have to do another show like this ever again. And but anyway, it's for the right call, for the right reason, and that is to raise the awareness for justice for Steve Perkins. Today marks 34 days. All right, 34 days, no justice, no arrest, no nothing, um, and we're not satisfied with that. We're not going to be satisfied with that. So it's been pressed upon my heart for quite some time to use my platform by any means to be able to get the word out and spread the word out to anybody that knows me, my viewers, and anybody else that ever have known of the name of Eric Gray, whether it's through sports, with Alabama football, whether it's through this podcast, whether it's through just a friendly handshake or just a encouraging word or fitness, whatever it may be. We here to spread the word of justice for Steve Perkins. So today I have a special guest that has came on to the show. Um, and like I said, I'm gonna bring my co-host on here in just a second. And this man here to my left here was a neighbor, was a neighbor of Steve Clay Perkins, and he's a disabled veteran by the name of Justin Shepard. He has been involved from the top to the bottom, dating every protest, the night shift, everything. And he has encountered and known Steve for quite some years since he's been a neighbor of his, as well as dealing with the tragedy himself up close and personal, where he had bullets riddled his house that could have took his life, that was shot carelessly by the Decatur Police Department. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring in my co-host. That's also Chris James. In addition to him, Chris, can you hear me? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can
Oh,
hear you.
great, man. We got you in here. We're gonna bring you up a little bit higher, man. We apologize for that. Uh, got you, Chris, in here, and then we're going to these are my co-hosts coming on here. He also going to be adding to it, and we're going to introduce my man Justin Shepard. How you doing?
I'm all right. Yourself?
I'm doing great, man. I want to tell you that I kind of spoke to you off air about it. Man, it's just a great honor and a privilege to have you on this platform. And you see the rep on the shirt. I am Steve Perkins. I have mine as well on my seat. I'll be pulling it out as well. Let's go ahead and get right into it, man. Um, I want you to share with us your experience with the man that we all know. I mean, some know about Steve, some know about Clay, both. Steve Perkins, tell us a bit about your relationship and your connection with Steve.
Well, Steve's been my neighbor since 2019 when I first moved into the house, and pretty much from the get go, we all the neighbors just pretty much clicked, and I mean, we have the kind of relationship to where, like, if somebody sees somebody struggling in the yard, or we offer assistance, or if you need something, you could always ask, and whoever it is just drops what they're doing and goes and helps. And
Yes.
um, if you need a ride somewhere or whatever, I mean, I don't think between me, him, or any of our other neighbors, I don't think there was ever a no. It was always yes.
Yes.
So I mean, I was very fortunate to live where I live and
Yes.
have that relationship, because I know a lot of places where you live, you don't have uh the
The camaraderie, that
right,
community feel, the chemistry. Yes.
right, and be able to ask people for help or whatever. I mean, that's like even when the spring for my garage door broke.
Mm, mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
living by myself, so even Steve came over there and lifted up my garage door and held it open so I could pull the car out.
Wow. Okay.
So
And that's what he do, and that's him, man. Like I said, as you guys know, if you've known him beforehand, I've known myself, known Steve for over 20 years, knew him for over 20 years. Down in Hillsborough, his brother Nick
mhm,
went to East Lawn, our rivalry school at West Morgan. And like I said, the most unconfrontational. I don't think I ever heard him getting in any type of scuffle, fight, or anything. And to have that type of tragedy happen to such an individual, yeah, I remember, and it's crazy how I even saw it. It was September the 29th, of course, everybody know. And the next morning I'm getting up and I see um, that something happened in Decatur, a police shooting. I'm like, dang, I said, God, again. I said, what happened? So not thinking nothing about it. I'm like, dang, somebody lost their life, unfortunately. I go ahead and I think I go to work out. I come back to the gym and I get on my phone. I'm scrolling and I literally came across Mark Quinn's page. And I saw it, and he made a statement. I think in the gym, he showed a picture of him and Steve in the gym, or him in the gym, or Steve, or both. And I literally just dropped my phone. I said, "Oh my God, this can't be. No, wait, no, this can't be." And for a good 5 6 minutes, I was just in disbelief. 'Cause I'm like,
mhm,
him? No. Like I immediately said, hold up, something ain't right. Some is not right. Not him. No, they don't. He no. And then reading the reports of it and everything, and now getting into it, and really, I want to start speaking about that because you talk about the kindness of him. Um, him helping you out, giving rides, different things like that. That's the experience I had with him.
mhm,
He would say to my cousin Pat every time he would see him, Pat, what you gonna do to him? That was his joke. Something happened when Pat was a child, and it followed him for years. That's another, common person we know in a relationship. Now, for me, now let's go into your next thing here. As we know, Steve was gunned down, murdered by a police officer. It was three of them. That it was crazy because how it even happened. It was almost like an ambush, literally an ambush. Tow truck driver claimed he came there the first time, and that Clay pulled a gun on him by repossessing his truck. Everybody know the story. If you don't know something, let you know about the story. Okay, and he so-called called the dispatch, 911 dispatch. We found out that never happened. He called directly to the cops, which found out they were off duty. They was on duty. Um, and then proceeded to came over there a second time, and you can see the first time the video footage that came out, which we will be having a surprise guest for you guys as well. So stay tuned. But you can see that it was something that was going on that was not quite right. Like, hold up, something ain't right. I don't know what this is, but something ain't right about what happened in the situation. And of course, later on, we come to find out they really didn't give him no time. They didn't even announce their presence. They
mhm.
had the lights off. They literally positioned themselves behind the house, behind the corner, hiding across the street. Three cops. Soon it came out.
And
All
the
he
cop
got was,
car's out of sight too,
yeah, out of
completely
sight.
down the road around the
Yes,
block.
yes. And that seems to me, and I even wrote this down, some of my notes. And you've been in combat before. You're a veteran, and we thank you for your service, your time. It for me reminded me of like a ambush or somebody trying to go into war to capture uh, um, a op or something, trying to capture or kill somebody intentionally. Like it's no even now we're not going to save it, not trying to de-escalate. We're going to murder or take this person out or capture them. From your experience in Iraq and things, because you said you heard some time in Iraq, 15 months from, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you guys take that? Do you ever see that? That's the type of approach you would take when you're in war, correct? When you're trying to surprise the enemy.
Right.
Why would you do that to a civilian? Why would they not? That kills me that they didn't make their presence known at any given time, and just ambush this guy by literally saying freeze, get on the ground, second shots. Now we're gonna come from right there from that point forward. How did you feel when that happened, man? When you landed in your bed, take us to the moments right before that happened, that night or that night of the incident. What was your night like, man?
Well, I mean, the night was going pretty normal. I was laying in bed at the time, and that's when I had heard all the gunshots, and um, I immediately called the police,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, "Well, I had heard the rounds hit and everything," and they said, "Well, it's that there's something going on that's not safe outside your home." But I mean, if there's rounds coming in my home, it ain't safe in there either.
Period. Point blank. Period.
So yeah, I mean, and then you end up looking outside and you see him laying in the yard and just police standing over him. It was, I don't know. I mean, it was just kind of disbelief.
I know I definitely believe that because, like I said, just hearing that, man, and like I said, there was something for me that was seeing the footage when I. And the sad thing about it, I heard. And I'm so glad that you guys are speaking out and seeing it firsthand because had we just went on what the police have reported, we really would think to this day that he still came out confrontational, that he threatened them, throw the gun, point the gun at them, all these things that they said happened that find out never really happened. You know, and I even go back for you. What have that since that has happened, man? How has your life changed forever? How has it affected your life personally forever? Not even speaking to the damage that was done to your home, but how has that affected your life, and why has it motivated you to be so involved in this protest and this movement for justice?
Well, it's affected my sleep. It's hard for me to go home and wind down because I've been harassed,
Mm.
and
Wait. When you speak of harassment, speak a little bit more in detail about what you mean by harassed. What that experience? If you can go into like not, you said harassing people. I know I've seen footage of like people from the vehicle, from home in the vehicle. What type of harassment is it?
well, I mean, even like when we go out to eat, people question my military service, even though it's public record.
Wow.
I
Okay.
mean,
Wow.
um, there's been people sending me messages that I wouldn't want to repeat, but you know, and people I don't even know that I have nothing to prove to them,
Yes.
but they feel that they need to necessarily put in their 2 cents.
Mm.
That's like somehow I'm responsible for everything that went on, and like when I go to the protest, it's kind of just what I feel like I can do. Like
Yes.
if
I'm sorry about
if
that.
if something happened to me, I would hope and pray people would advocate on my behalf, just like like we all been doing for Steve.
Yes. Yes. You know what? And that's I made a comment one time when I saw your movement and your protesting and everything, and you standing in line for us and for justice for Steve. Like, oh, he got a permanent passage to the cookout, and I truly meant that, man. And I want to get these chats here. I'm sorry, guys. We got this the things for Chrissy Love. We got people coming in here commenting. Justice for Steve Perkins, guys. That's what I want you to do. If you in here, I want you to flood these comment sections, flood it with justice for Steve Perkins. I am Steve Perkins. Keep flooding it. Hit that like button, share this. I want this stuff to get out over and over and over again because this is the time, and this is why also this is personal for me. Is at one point in time before Tab moved to his new location, he was a next door neighbor to my parents. Anytime I came home from college, just came home to visit, Tab was there. He was there. He would come over and want to speak to me about the game and stuff. And you know, never saw this in his guy. Never saw this happening. And to see the lack of accountability, and ability. And I'm looking at this thing here, and this is something that's been puzzling me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let my man get in here, Chris, in a second, man. Get you in here to talk, man, as well for some questions you may have. Um, that not only is that justice not being served, but it's showing the arrogance of leadership. At the very least, I'm thinking about if I'm involved in the shooting, me and you, we go and shoot at somebody at home. First of all, even they can't understand if they say, hey, it was self defense. 9 out of 10 times, but they're gonna still lock us up at very minimum. They don't mean they actually guilty. They don't mean you actually charged, but at least okay, we need to put him behind bars for his protection and the
Hmm.
protection from others. Not the single thing has been done, and that's the thing that's so hurtful to about this whole situation, and seeing it been taken, lives been taken for granted, because it's basically telling us, hey, you guys, your life don't matter. We protecting the shield at all costs, no matter right or wrong. That's what we gonna do. And that's the part that shakes me, and that's why I'm like, okay, this can't go on like this. We can't keep moving like this and think this is okay, or we're gonna lie down for this.
Well,
So go ahead.
like the police told me though that I'm not a victim, but if it was you that put one round into my home, you'd have done been locked up. I would have had a victim advocate. I would have had.
Reckless abandonment, everything. Everything across the board went there. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
give my
you know,
give
I,
my co- here to
I
interject a
was
little
just
bit.
going to
Go ahead.
say, I like to focus on a little bit just on the negligence of the police department. So you called them immediately after you heard the shots. Like
Yes.
when you realized shots coming into your home, you called the police. Can you kind of break down a time frame of did you see any um, round of new officers pull up, and what was that time frame like? And what at what time did you feel like you could go outside and take a look at what was going on?
Well, I can't really say as far as the time frame, but the officers, like, they came in waves when they did show up, and um, I don't really remember when I decided to go outside, but yeah, I ended up going outside, and like I said, they wouldn't allow me to go back in my home once I did.
So you couldn't go back into your home once you went outside.
Correct.
And what about so none of the officers that were there initially that actually even came to your home to check on you to see if you're okay, knowing that they had they were firing, aiming in the direction of your home.
Well, I didn't get a sense as that that was even on their list of concerns.
Not to even to just have a safety check. Hey, we
Right.
had
No, I don't
shots.
think
Just
they asked if anybody
checking
was injured
the
or
house
nothing.
nearby. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to point that out because it's multiple levels of negligence here that we just I want to encapsulate in this whole event, and the reason why we're pushing for this reform, the reason why we're pushing for justice for Steve Perkins, because this goes beyond on multiple levels of just overall negligence, and it's not even the fact that if you say you're out there for a specific purpose, you're supposed to serve and protect. Not only did they gun down and kill Steve, but then they didn't have the decency to check on the community around for this so-called threat that they had to uh, take down.
Look, this is goes to another step. You're right about the negligence, and I thought about this, and I think I spoke one of my somebody close to me about this whole situation. Whereas it make you think about what is really the truth and what's not the truth going on. Meaning, what I mean by that is they get the footage. Okay, the
Mhm.
footage comes out, or better yet, the first report is that Steve was brandishing a gun and threatened the repo man with a gun. Okay, of course we later find out that that never happened, and then it comes back out that he pulled a gun. He pointed the gun at the police officers, and they had to fire on him. They told him to put the gun down. They fired on him. Well, immediately they put the report out that that's what happened, and we let them believe that no matter what job you do or job or field you are in, as the superior, you are to fact check everything that goes out before it goes out in order to make sure that you do not misrepresent the event, misrepresent the police department, anything. Try to do your due justice to make sure the information you put out is right, because it's so much harder to try to retract a statement once it's out versus doing it right the first time. So, and it seemed that statement stayed up there for quite a while. That Steve pulled the gun out and he did this, he did that, and they had to fire because they had to protect themselves. It was not until the film became public a few days later, or not really, yeah, a few days later, and it went to maybe a week later that the chief of police come back and retract that statement and say, "Hey, we did it wrong. It was incorrect about this and about that, about him brandishing the gun, or better. Oh, I'm sorry. Better yet, that they did not give him adequate time to react and respond to what happened." That begs, and for me, because of it begs me to think, if the film had never, the footage had never been released, would they ever had even retracted statement? But or it would have been like, okay, this is what happened. What story we're gonna go with? We're gonna stick to this. But I think because they was forced, because they saw the public saw the film and saw, wait, that didn't happen like they said. Then they had to come back and retract it. So it already from the beginning put for we was already like the people that knew Steve, like yourself, like I, most already knew, like, hold up, this ain't Steve wouldn't move like that. That's not him. And then of course we saw the footage to confirm that. So it put a lot of that level of doubt immediately into our mind to confirm what we already felt was already going on.
Well, that was like when I was sitting there watching. One of the things that stuck out to me was the tow truck was allowed to leave with the truck
Yes.
before the ambulance even got there.
A crime scene. But they
And
told you couldn't even go back into your home.
right, and so they're they out there walking around contaminating the crime scene and stuff, and like I said, removing evidence, and then wouldn't let me go back in my home.
Yes.
And now I've had trouble even like eating, or like I can't sleep even. you know um I can't tell you how many hours of sleep I've lost, and like anytime I see lights outside of my home, like it's really affected me. I mean, like I've even been choking on water even sometimes. I mean, and I mean, I'm out getting counseling. I mean, but when I've talked to some of the counselors, sometimes they're just at a loss of words. They're like, well, one, seeing what you've seen out front is traumatic enough,
Yes.
but then your house got shut up. It's
Yes.
almost two separate,
You
complete
still living it.
traumas,
Yes.
all at once on top of everything that I've already have,
Yes.
like,
Yes. And and that's the thing about it, man. Looking at how many people are affected that even wasn't connected, that didn't actually have to be that didn't lose their life, unfortunately. And I'm not want to make sure we don't forget, man. The biggest thing about this is that those daughters, his two daughters, won't never have a father. He's gone. They will never have Steve Perkins to continue to raise them. Controller Perkins will never have her husband to welcome home again, to hug, to love. And I have my son and my family, and I can't imagine that being taken away from me. And I think about this, and this is why it hit me when I saw the video of him laying on the ground, and I could see bullets still being shot
mhm.
as he was on the ground, it's dust popping up. I'm like, I can't imagine what was going through his mind those last few seconds of his life.
Well, I
And
guarantee he was scared. I mean,
out his mind.
you have somebody running up from behind after you already told somebody to leave. You think it's their buddies, and you turn around to see, you put your hands up, and within 1 second of you putting your hands up, they're already pumping
It's
rounds
over.
into you.
It's over.
And I mean, and the thing is that he wasn't some, bad person or whatever.
Yes.
He was out there, every week mowing his yard. He was washing the cars, and he would do it by hand. And, he was always taking the kids to school.
Yes.
He was actually a good father.
Everything you're supposed to be
You
doing.
know what I'm
you're
saying?
supposed-
He
Yes.
had a job, and to take that away, a model citizen, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the way that the police department put out that false narrative, and then had to
Retract it.
retract
Mhm.
it, and then the chief had to put out another statement, retracting that one, like making up excuses. Oh, well, we got in a rush. Well, like I said in the city hall meeting, this is a tragedy. Like, this is
Yes.
disaster. It's the
Yes.
equivalent of a hurricane coming into the city, because there's an effect that reaches out of the city because of this.
Yes. Yes.
This is a big deal. And I mean, that's another thing I want to bring up too, as far as like the harassment and stuff. I've even had drones over my home. police fly into drones over my home so low you could take a ball and, well, I mean, you're bigger than I am, but I could have threw a ball and hit the drone.
And for what? And for those reasons, that's what it also it pushes back at us. I having this platform, guys, because you see all the effort that's been put into harassment. You see all the effort that's put into really stop the truth, stop these protests. I'd have been a part of it and seen drones. I'm like, okay, they got drones flying over the above for whatever that reason. I don't even want to go into their reasons, but doing it to stop the protest, stop the justice, instead of just doing what's right. It's so simple.
Yeah, I can't
It
even
is
open my blinds because I'm afraid.
it's not rocket science. It I spoke this and I said they'd be amazed what it would do if they would just arrest at least one. Put it abroad to show us that we are really taking effort to try to make this thing right, to try to do what we
Right.
can, even though it's after effect. Let's see what we can to make it right. Because again, we know what happened. If nothing else, we know the protocol was not executed properly. We know the protocol was
Right.
broken. You didn't identify yourself. Didn't have no lights on. You didn't de-escalate. Was not even in the picture. You did not going to make yourself present. And this is another
Wasn't
thing
a
I thought
dispatch
about.
call.
No, none of this. All you starting to come to lies, and you look back on it. I don't know if people knew about this. Um, there's a research. There's a thing called a fair debt. I think a fair debt collection action. This is based for the tow truck driver. Either he didn't know this or he didn't care. That once a police is called and police arrive on the scene for an event like that, a repossession, it is over. The repossession is done. You can no legally cannot even touch the vehicle no more. It's over. You got to come back maybe the next day, some other time, but you cannot be there. Either he didn't care or he didn't know. Either way, it cost him. So I can go on and on, but I want to bring our special guest and I want to be labor on time. We have 30 minutes here, and this person has been waiting for quite some time for us, guys. This is another, all this footage we're talking about, um, all this footage we have seen over the last few weeks. Um, we owe a great deal of gratitude, admiration and appreciation to this person. I know we got some more comments guys coming in, guys. I'm gonna try to get that to you. And if you have some questions you want to drop into the comment section, please feel free to do that as well. Um, I'm gonna bring that up. But we have here Michael and Susan Caps. They are the one who has been releasing this footage to be able to allow us to be able to know what's going on, guys. So I want you guys to give them your undivided attention as I bring them in. They are our surprise guests for today. They hit me up yesterday, and I'm like, oh, we got to have you on here if you will. So, guys, without further ado, Susan, Michael, how you guys are doing? Oh, we lost the volume. Hold on just a second here. Susan, let get your volume back in here real quick, okay? All right, let's get that squared away. Get your volume back. We had a little earlier test. Everything went pretty good. Let me make the phone. Let me guys make sure everything's going on with the sounds good. Susan, you hear us? Okay. All right, guys, we got a little technical difficulties, but we're gonna bring her back in just a moment. Let her get situated with her sound. I'm gonna leave you on the screen, Susan. So whenever if you can, make sure your volume is up and everything, and we're gonna get you back rocking and rolling. Okay. So just whenever you hear us, you speak back in. Okay. All right. So we got a few comments in the section, guys. And the people saying, how to cop, didn't care, or even with the tow truck driver. And this is what I want to. While I have this time here, I want to encourage each and every one of you guys, keep protesting, keep pushing, stay peaceful. Do not allow the outside noise to hijack the narrative that this is a foolishness. This is thugs. This is too rowdy. They causing the situation to be worse. Even the British comments, all that stuff. Don't hear it. We are here for one purpose only, to get justice for Steve Perkins. I want this to be the last time that we have to use a hashtag. The last time we have to say RIP. The last time we have to fight for justice for people to do the right thing. And I am a person on behalf of pleading. And I know I don't want to have the biggest platform in the world, but I know that what was done to him, when I see Steve on that ground, and I see Steve, I see me. I'm right at his age. I knew this guy growing up. I love to be the right woman. If you 9 out of 10 times, you're gonna catch me either I'm training somebody or I'm working out myself. I've been doing it for over 20 years now. in the fitness industry. I know that, like, I remember when he started that journey back in like 2010. I came back. I'm like, whoa, Stephen got yoked up. Like, what is this? You know, he would just laugh. Yeah, me, I'm trying to get right, man. I'm getting right in here. You know, and to see that, I'm like, that's me. That could be me. I know in no point in time did he wake up that morning and lay down to go to sleep and knowing that this would be the last time that I hug my wife. It'll be the last time I will hug and kiss my daughters. This will be the last time that I will see a sunrise. And to hear that his biggest fear and his only fear was dying at the hands of law enforcement, you don't get no more tragedy than that. So I encourage you guys to keep pushing, keep pushing. And so I can come out there, whether I'm dropping off water, or I'm in the protest myself, or I'm doing my push up, my push to pull challenge, I'm keeping it going. I'm doing pull ups every day that he don't have a justice. I'm getting in there, I'm pushing, I'm doing something, guys. Keep on fighting, keep on pushing. And I tell you this, DPD, Tab Bowling, you know me, you know my family, live right beside us for time. Do right. That's not a wrong time to do right. The time is now. I don't care how much pride you may have, how what it may cost. Try to do right, man. Because if we don't, we hadn't seen the worst of what can happen. But we don't want to see that. But we want justice for this man. He deserved it. His family deserves that. I'm sorry. I didn't want to go off into that, guys. Y'all still keep dropping the hashtags in the middle, guys. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna give us a quick second, guys. I want to reflect for a moment, if you will. I love that. Appreciate you, Cordell, man, dropping in to the comment section. You got something to say?
If you can't get on audio,
We know we can do that. You gotta
speaker.
contact anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, Susan, we're gonna work on getting you on the phone. So we're gonna make that happen. All right. And what I'm gonna do here, guys, I want y'all to stay put. We ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. We got a video, guys, on behalf. I want to make sure I give a credit to my man Richard Mason on his videos. And we're gonna play that real quick, guys, for a few moments. You guys sit tight, all right?
Don't you wanna be? I really wanna be free. You wanna be free. Oh yeah. Free like vacations on the islands. Free like the summertime water park of hydrants. Free big set, more money and more problems. Free like Mary J, no more drama. Free from the pain of my past, they remind us. Free from the opinions of people that co-sign it. Free from the quitter in me to stop climbing. Free from throwing the talent, remind them. Free from emotional baggage, tagging. Free from mediocre, I'm living above average. Free from dragging my feet, I take action. Free, so I'm lifting my glass up. Classic purpose, homie, I'm living above surface. Cursive, I get the door without curses. Wordsmiths, we are the creation through verses. Then take a tour through the churches. Perfect. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Y'all got work to do.
Don't you wanna be? I really wanna be free. You wanna be free. Oh yeah. Free like vacations on the islands. Free like the summertime water park of hydrants. Free big set, more money and more problems. Free like Mary J, no more drama. Free from the pain of my past, they remind us. Free from the opinions of people that co-sign it. Free from the quitter in me to stop climbing. Free from throwing the talent, remind them. Free from emotional baggage, tagging. Free from mediocre, I'm living above average. Free from dragging my feet, I take action. Free, so I'm lifting my glass up. Classic purpose, homie, I'm living above surface. Cursive, I get the door without curses. Wordsmiths, we are the creation through verses. Then take a tour through the churches. Perfect. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Y'all got work to do.
All right, guys, we're back. You hear that? That's what we're gonna bring in right there. Just simple as that. Nick Perkins speaking on that we got work to do. We have work to do. Um, and like I said, we're working on getting her. If you guys will bear with me a few more moments here, we're working on getting Suzanne on here through a phone call. And as we do that,
Hey,
all right, we got Susan here, guys. Give us a few moments.
we got you on now.
Okay.
All right, so Susan, if you will, I'm gonna bring you back on the screen as well, okay? So we can at least hear you and then we'll be able to see you, okay? So express to us, man, like just get us your vantage point and your interaction and relationship with Steve Perkins and the Perkins family. Okay, let me.
Echoing or hearing the same thing twice.
Okay, let me bring you off here. Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I was asking you, if you will, share with us about your experience and
Still doing it.
still doing it. Okay, let me work on that. I'm gonna
But
take
if
you off
she,
here.
yeah, if
Oh,
you,
I want
mute.
you to sign off. If you will, you can go ahead and sign off on your phone. All in general, that's what's making you happen. You sign off on your phone for us real quick. You guys bear with us for just a few moments, okay? So go ahead and take it off your. Yeah, hang up on your. No,
yeah,
not on Justin, but hang up on the restream.
yeah, hang up on the stream.
I'm gonna move her off of here. I'll take her off real quick. I'm gonna move it myself, so she'll be
There we
good.
go.
All right, guys, she's coming back on it. All right,
Okay.
we got you, Anthony. We got you. Can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Like I said, I just want you to kind of, if you will, share with us your relationship and your connection with the Perkins family and Steve.
Well, we met him when we moved in 7 years ago. He hadn't been there very long, and he walked over for the first time to introduce himself, and a friendship just blossomed from there. I mean, he's always been helpful to me. I have several major health problems,
Mm-hmm.
and I have fallen out of the car, and him and Katrilla got me up. Then there was another time I tried to get in the truck, and I fell out, and he got me in the truck and took me to urgent care. I
Wow,
mean, that's not what your average neighbor will do. At least
I
not in
agree.
my experience.
Yes, yes. And that's a beautiful thing, man. So I want to talk us through that night for you and get your experience of the night that everything happened, and or better yet, we'll go into let's go into that real quick after that night for you hearing the gunshots and just takes from there for your journey, if you will.
Well, we heard a noise, we weren't sure, and Mike jumped up and he went to the window, and I went parading outside because he calls me Mrs. Kravitz, but I want to know what was going on.
Yes.
And then I saw Steve on the ground, and he moved one arm, and I thought I heard him yell help, and then he didn't move anymore after that.
Okay. Yes. So
The cops patted him down, and they told each other to turn off their body cams.
wait. Time out. You say you remember hearing them to say to turn off your body cam.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I believe Justin did too.
Okay. That speaks volume. And now at that what point? I'm sorry. I want to make sure be clear. At what point did you hear them say that? Was it once you came out the house and they came to you, or was this happening immediately? Like what happened? Like when did you hear this happen take place? Was it after the shot when they were standing over his body still, or was it just minutes later?
No, after we heard, and I got up, ran to the window, and I stupidly ran outside, and I saw what was going on, and then an officer, I can't remember his name, came up, and I asked him, "Was everybody okay?" And he said, "Well, it was an officer-involved shooting." So I figured the cop got shot, and he said, "No, the cop shot somebody." And I specifically said, "Is everybody okay?" And he said, "Yes." But everybody wasn't okay.
We know that. Yeah. Now we definitely know that. Okay, look, so and this is again, like I said, I really wanted to bring you on. I thank you guys for being open and being willing to speak, and I can't thank you enough. And I think the entire community cannot thank you enough for you guys getting your footage out there. What led to you guys going through your process of your mind to release the footage to get it out there publicly, so that the truth can be seen and not just
We
word
didn't
for
have
words.
to question it. We looked at each other and said, the police are going to come and they're going to want this. Let's get it out there. And yeah, they came 2 days later, but they didn't come with a search warrant until on the 30th. So there was no decision to be made. It's all about Steve and his family, and we love Steve to death. Shouldn't have used that word.
No, I understand. You got fine. We understand. You know, and so, and I'm saying that, man, because uh for me, and I'm trying to keep myself in the right mindset. You don't know how much that footage has saved the chance to have justice for his life off of that footage that you released. Because had it not been released, we would not know the story. And we would have to be left. We would know in our gut, everybody that knew him, like that is not how he would move. But that would be just our gut feeling. We would have no evidence. And now, not only has this movement here, I want you to know this. I want everybody to know this. This release of this footage has not only exposed the negligence in the police department for those individuals, but probably even to more depths. You got to believe, and I believe that the reason why they're holding up for so long to release information is because they know this thing gonna run deeper. Now the spotlight is on them. This flashlight representation, it isn't just about what happened with Steve. It's shining a flashlight on the entire system. And then we're gonna keep on showing that light to the entire system until we get every crevice, every crooked cop, every attorney, everything out of the way. Because now the doors has been opened, the blinders have been taken off, and we think we have you and your husband to think for that. And I want you to know how much we appreciate that, because, like I said, it would be no justice to be able to be had if it wasn't for you doing what was right. And that simply goes back to what you talked about doing. You did it. You said it wasn't no question. It was the right thing to do. We had to do it.
Right.
We thank you guys for that.
It never was about being notarized or anything like that. It was the right thing to do by God and the right thing to do by the Perkins family. And if we hadn't done that, God wouldn't have been too happy with us. And I want to get in through those pearly gates. So,
Wow.
Wow. It's just,
Well,
we had to do it.
Amen to that.
And then you see how different the narrative is that the police put out versus what was actually on the footage.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. You know what? And I love you, and I appreciate you for that. I do from the bottom of my heart, and I can only imagine how much the Perkins family appreciates you for that as well, and what you have done, and doing that and releasing that footage. And now I ask you, and I know that take a lot of courage, because what I want us to make sure we do also, I want us to make sure we are standing behind not only Justin, not only our other leaders, but also you guys, because if he's getting harassed, I can only imagine what's probably happening to you guys, or may potentially happen to you. I want you to know that on behalf of E36 Unfiltered, on every protest, everybody, we have your back. We're gonna look out for you as well, because it's a lot of people out there don't like what you did, do not like what happened, the footage you put out, the spotlight that you now put on the police department, and many more. I want you to be clear about that, but we appreciate you for that, man. And Alex, I don't want to hold you long. I don't want to belabor the time, but we appreciate you so much. Okay, and I also want to make sure. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Thank you, man, for my guy. Katrella commented that she loves her neighbors. She really appreciates you guys. She's in the comment section. I want to make sure I highlight that. I'm gonna try to go find that, man. I really appreciate it. And she really appreciate that, and I want you to know that. I want you to know that she appreciates you very much for what you did for her and her family, to be able to have this justice. And like I said, Katrella, you watching this, we thank you for you being strong. Continue to be strong. Continue to also help get us back in line when things seem to want to get out of line. Continue to use your voice, because without, oh yes, I can. The strength that she has, I can't even imagine. Prayers, I just truly prayers up, from the bottom of my heart to her family, everybody that's going through, everybody that's hurt. And I also want to take this moment here real quick before I get you off of here. We want to, well, you know what, I'm gonna make sure I solidify with yourself first, and then go from there. And like I said again, in your closing, Suzanne, we appreciate you for all the information you have released for us, and being able to, like I said, being able to shine that light on what has happened. And we continue the prayers and covering over you, and justice for Steve Perkins.
Absolutely.
All right, man, we thank you so much. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right, guys, you just heard from Susan Caps, all her and her husband that released that footage. Like I said, man, I can't thank them enough for this and doing that, and releasing that information, so we can be able to have a stance to fight on. All right, and if I got some of you guys in the comment section, I am so sorry, Katrella. I so much flowing through here. I haven't been able to catch it and miss it and everything, but definitely We thank you for being on here. Thank you for watching. If you guys want to utilize your voice to come on here, trust me, I don't mind doing it again because this is the most important thing. And as we close down, and yes, I want y'all to also hashtag Catrella Strong as well. I need justice for Steve Perkins, yes, but Catrella Strong because the weight, nobody's feeling this weight the way she's feeling this weight. And I'm gonna get you back here. My fault, Chris.
And
Let's go
then,
ahead.
well, and something else I wanted to add too. I think
Yes.
she's shown extreme courage and bravery throughout this whole process, because she even went to the city council meeting and she had the courage to get up there and speak, and she's been showing up to these protests. And I like I said, I know how much how callous the city has been towards myself, and I could only imagine what all she's dealing with. It's probably times 10 or times 100, knowing
Yes.
that they've just been so calloused about this and their lack of action and lack of empathy. And I have nothing but respect for Catrilla and her whole family. I mean,
Absolutely.
you
Absolutely.
know,
And I want to also, as we close down, guys, I want to also give my backing and my encouragement for Rodney Gordon. Uh, Rodney Gordon has been forefront from the beginning as well. Man, brother, I'm praying for you. I'm got your back. I appreciate you for everything you have done that you continue to do. Or Cornelius Eccles, same thing. Got your back. Appreciate you guys. And I know I'm gonna miss some names, guys, so please don't take it personal. Perez, Foster, um, um, Terrence Baker, um, Brianna. I haven't had a chance to really officially meet her yet. Adriana over here, she's also off screen as well. My brother Mark Quinn Burge, we go back years and years as well. So many of you guys out there, man, it's on the forefront and putting your voice out there, putting your foot down, and leading and organizing these things, and all even our spiritual leaders is out there is also that came into the game and backing us up as well. And like I said, God, we got to continue to push, push, believe, and believe. And in the words of my man Nick Perkins, we got work to do. We got work to do. I'm gonna give it one more time for my man Justin. Do you have anything left to say?
yeah. I want to also point out that it's been amazing to me to see the community come together like they have, and in solidarity for this cause. Because I mean, you see people of all different walks of life come up to these protests. I mean, there's people that don't have much to their name coming out there and protesting. There's white people, black people, there's
Yes.
Asians out there, there's
Yes.
Native American, there's everybody's out there, and everybody has the same message. And even sitting on the steps during the daytime, I'll hold a sign or whatever, and there's people that will come up and tell you their stories about things that have happened with the police department and how they were treated. And like you had pointed out earlier, this is almost the straw that broke the camel's back, because apparently this isn't just a just now issue. This has been
Yes. Oh
going
yes.
on,
Yes.
and it's even opened up my eyes too.
Yes.
I mean, to the brutality that's going on, and even the actions of the police, and like when they were pulling protesters off the sidewalks, and
Mm.
giving a protester concussion and then being in the hospital for days. I mean,
Yes. Yes.
I,
Garrett, everybody, people. Yes. You know what? This is another thing that hit my heart right here, real quick. You talked about how much it's had affected so many people from all walks of life and everything, and how we have pushed this thing to solidarity. And even though you definitely see the naysayers want to come against it and everything, but this has really impacted so many people that better see, man, this stuff is happening like clockwork. But what I want to encourage, I want to take a charge to this one here. I know multiple police officers. I know it's on the news beat and everything. When you when you go home, you want to go home safe. You want to go home to your loved ones. You take that badge off. You take that uniform off. And I'm gonna give a comparison. So I played at one of the most prestigious universities in college football history, the University of Alabama, under Nick Saban. But when I was on that field, yeah, I represented Alabama. And I just had a name on the back of my jersey. They rooted and hollered for me, signed autographs, all that stuff. But when I walked back home and back to my dorm to see my parents, I was no longer the Alabama air graded Alabama football player. I was John Gray's son. I was Linda Gray's son. I was Antonio, my big brother. I look up to this day. I was an uncle. What I'm getting at is you're human. That badge, that jersey, that stuff gonna go away. I may still have it in my closet, may have the rings, but it's not who I am. I'm a human. And I say that to say, at this moment of time, if you knew there was your friend or that was one of your loved ones, what would you want the law enforcement to do? What would you want to be done? Would you want justice for your family member, your loved one? Because we can protest, we can step out, we can do all we want to do all day and every day. But until the ones behind that badge, that wear that badge, that can look to their brother and say, yo, you was wrong, G. Bro, I love you, but you was wrong. We carry the badge, we the brotherhood, but you was wrong. You got to do right, man. I can't stand with you on this one. Until that happens, it's going to keep on happening. I hate to tell y'all, it's going to keep on happening. I've been a captain on the team before. I was never a true captain until I can tell my teammate, hey, you wrong, bro. You got to get you right. Look, if you don't do right, I can't stand with you. You can't be a part of the team no more. That's how you clean it up. I need y'all to clean it up, man. Do right. Do right. I'm going to leave it with this. Justice for Steve Perkins.
Justice for Steve.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Steve.
Don't you wanna be I really wanna be free. You wanna be free. Oh yeah. Free like vacations on the islands. Free like the summertime water park of hydrants. Free big set, more money and more problems. Free like Mary J, no more drama. Free from the pain of my past, they remind us. Free from the opinions of people that co-sign it. Free from the quitter in me to stop climbing. Free from throwing the talent, remind them. Free from emotional baggage, tagging. Free from mediocre, I'm living above average. Free from dragging my feet, I take action. Free, so I'm lifting my glass up. Classic purpose, homie, I'm living above surface. Cursive, I get the door without curses. Wordsmiths, reintegration through verses. Then take a tour through the churches. Perfect.
Y'all got work to do.